I have that watch in silver, but the blue's good.
It was freaking cheap because no one wants blue.
See, I wanted white and it was expensive, and I said,
Outlet mall somewhere in Massachusetts. I don't know.
Okay.
You go. We're already talking. We shouldn't be talking. We should not be talking. Now we're talking. Wait.
face.
Your face. Hello, YouTube pedal nerds that come on my channel for pedals and have been probably watching and turning off a lot of bass players because I've been talking to them. And then we talked to Daryl from MXR and actually looked at some pedals. But now we're talking to the incomparable, I think that's a word, Phil X. But if you have been on YouTube quite a while, and we know you have, you've seen him. And in the US, it is okay to be silly. I've told him that yesterday.
Yeah, but he said, don't be silly today.
But it's in Germany, we do not do silly. Actually, he probably had to sign a thing at the border where he had to say, you know, cut it out and otherwise he get deported or something. In Germany, we are not very funny.
Yeah.
We are very strict. We are going to talk very seriously about pedals and the guitar.
That's what I was shocked. You know, they stamp your passport and then you have to sign something that says no silliness or funny or anything like that. So I'm going to be very calm and
You know that Monty Python skit. Cut all this. That's just too silly. Moving on.
Right.
But we don't do that here. That's Britain. That is the British, or British as they say. They don't do the T. British. I don't know where I went. Okay, I have about this billion questions, so we have to talk real fast.
Okay, so
to be completely honest, I did not know who Phil X was up until probably a year and a half ago when my friends went like, you don't know who Phil X is? And then they showed me videos where you talk about guitars and I'm like, fuck, it's entertaining, he knows his shit, he can play and sing. I don't like this guy. This is wrong. He's doing everything I want to do but better. And then look at the clicks he's getting. And
that's funny.
Hey, come on. So I sit there, you know, show some pedals and you just do it in better. So my first question is, what's it like to be awesome?
Wow.
Because I'd really like to know, as someone who will probably never experience it himself.
Okay. You know where awesome comes from? Awesome comes from special.
Like special bus special or...
I mean, not special, but special. Not sure, but I feel like my entire life I've been playing guitar and singing, right? And obviously, the more you do anything, the better you get. Like, was Mozart really a genius when he was 12, or did he already practice 17,000 hours before he was 12? You know what I mean? There's that whole thing. And in my teens, I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced, and all my friends were like, I'm the best guy at my high school, and I'm like, well, I'm the best guy at my high school, but that's not good enough, right?
Yes,
so these
exactly.
guys were content. I was never content. I would push myself. And I would push myself and push myself. And what can I do that's different? And I have my heroes, and I draw a little bit of influence from the piles of influence, and then I create my color, or my palette of color. And basically, where the special occurs is, sometimes it's an accident. My special was an accident. I started doing these videos, and here's the treble pickup, here's the neck pickup, see you next week. And then it turned into screaming AC/DC and jamming Zeppelin and being funny and all this stuff. That was an accident. You know, like it's my personality started to shine more and more. And then the more it shined, the more views we got. And I'm telling you right now, that wasn't the plan. We were just doing
But
demos.
it's working. And when I look at you, I look at Rob Chapman,
Yeah.
I look at the guys who just themselves. The videos turn out long.
He rubs himself, but he's a little bit of me too.
Just kidding. And you know, and that's not a bad thing to be. And you know, and I realized that just be large, be yourself, be stupid, and
Well, that's the funny thing, because there's a line, right? Everybody, when you're doing something and people like it, they go, wow, this guy's just being himself. He doesn't take himself seriously. He laughs at himself. He lets mistakes stay in the video instead of editing them out.
I never edit a single thing.
Right.
I mean, bad playing, I don't care.
I don't
have
care too, it's real,
I have
right?
a freaking lisp, and there's a lot of shit that I cannot say, and I stumble over. You know?
See, you don't take it seriously.
No, I
And you
cannot.
laugh at yourself. If you laugh at yourself, people laugh with you. Right?
YouTube is infotainment. It is infotainment. It is, you gotta be informative, and
Yes.
people learn shit. I mean, the guitars you show are not guitars people can usually buy.
Right.
There's one of them,
Yeah.
and most people that watch these videos don't have the money for them.
Right.
So why do they watch the videos? They're learning, they're having a shitload of fun, and it's just a blast to watch. And when people say, well, shut up and play the instrument, and my videos turn out to be longer. I do a pedal demo, it's 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's in depth, it's really in depth, and everything gets shown and as a boost and in a track and everything. And then I think, your videos are long, Chappas is long, and people watch them, and most of my fans like them, so
You know, I think for the people that think this is too long, I'm just dragging out, that's what the fast forward is for. Fucking scroll ahead, man. Oh, this looks like interesting. It could be 2 minutes if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But I think the whole point is, and it's for me, if I'm singing a lot or talking a lot, it's because the guitar doesn't play very well for me. I'm not used to it. It's not set up perfect. So I play a little bit and I talk a lot. And people actually say, what's with all the talking kind of thing? And I'm like, I don't care. Because
really
if you can't please everybody.
No, you
and
can't.
then I get comments like, man, I watch your videos because I learned something and it made me pull my guitar out of my case. I haven't played in 10 years, but you made me want to play. And there's no feeling like that. There's no feeling like that anywhere else. Somebody says, you haven't played in 10 years, I made you want to play guitar again? That's amazing.
Dude, I had someone who said he went into rehab. He got over a serious drug habit, quit his band, was actually touring, quit his band, had no interest in playing anymore, and he watched my videos and he got back into it.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
And he was always into Gibsons, and he now saw my videos where I play PRS. And he says he bought a PRS and he bought amps and he's back into it, and he writes me this long email thanking me for I get goosebumps thinking about it. I'm like, hey,
Well, it's the people that, you know, the people that need to hate and do stuff like that, you know, they don't really have lives. Face it, right?
Yes. You do not if you're that kind of person.
But I know the guys. Like, I talked to Steve Lukather and Joe Bonamassa and Zach Wilde and all the guys in between. And those guys don't go on and hate on shit. So, am I going to listen to these guys, or am I going to listen to these guys that, you know, he watches my video and his comment is talentless hack? Am I going to listen to this? No.
You know what I do when that happens? I do answer.
I answer sometimes.
Yeah. But what I do is, I say, look, I'm sitting here spending 8 hours producing a video to be informative for you. So you can make an informed buying decision, and I do this for you. And it's okay if you don't like something, but just being an ass about it to someone who's trying to provide a free service to you with his time is kind of impolite.
Yeah.
And you know what? Most people come back and say, yeah, I'm sorry, I had a bad day, and they apologize. I'm impressed by these guys who come back and say,
I've never had an apology ever. Oh, wait. About my tattoos. Somebody said, man, those are the ugliest tattoos I've ever seen.
why would anyone care about this?
I know, I'm playing a 59 Les Paul. You're talking about my pants and my tattoos. What the fuck? So wait, but somebody said, oh, those are the ugliest tattoos I've ever seen. I go, great, they're my boys. This is Xavier and this is Gage. What do you got to say now? And then they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now I'm having a little girl, she's going over here. But the whole point is,
Congrats, by the way.
thank you. We're having a blast doing what we do. And some people just get jealous.
So, yes, and some express it saying bad things. Some express it saying, hey, you live in a freaking paradise. You look at my videos in the back, you see all these guitars, and, you know, I mean, I earned a lot of these, and I paid for them, and I worked hard for them.
Yeah.
And people say, this is cool, I just love to visit you and, you know, hang out in this man cave, and I'm like, hey, anyone come over, have coffee with me.
Right.
And actually the guy, you know, Ciox, they make power supplies.
Who? Sorry?
Ciox, Cioks.
I haven't seen that.
Danish company, very small. You would love one of them.
Okay.
The DC-10, 10 outputs, very high-end power supply. They make the same thing called pussy power. It is pink, and Phil, I'm not shitting you. It's called pussy power. It is pink and has a vagina on it. And in the middle of the, I'm not kidding you, is a pulsating LED. And when you turn it around, there's a thing where you can switch the clit pulsing speed.
Come on.
I'm not shitting you. They have a pink power supply that is called pussy power with a big vagina on it.
I have to see that.
I will tell the guy to send you one, because he.
That's two things you said you get sent to me.
Give me my cell phone, please. I hooked you up. I wrote Milos Popovic. Everyone who watches my channel knows Milos, because a lot of you bought the Gainiac after my video. Milos spammed my channel. He's like, yeah, this is a nice pedal, didn't even look at it, but check out Milos Popovic's. And I'm like, dude, send me one. So he sent me this thing which comes wrapped in Serbian newspaper.
That's awesome.
It comes wrapped in a baller newspaper, okay? It's super handmade.
I love that thing.
So it shows up after weeks, because coming from Serbia takes a long ass time.
Okay.
And I plug this thing in, I'm like, okay, low gain side, holy fuck. Just, wow. High gain side. Usually for me a rhythm sound, a little bit less mids, okay, and lead sound, a lot of mids. No, it does everything. And everyone who's bought it around the world now says this is the thing. So I told him, please, we need one for Phil. He says he has one right now already built. I said it needs to be fast. I'm like, dude, find UPS. They don't have that in Serbia. Okay. He flies fighter jets for a living, so he should actually just drop it off in front.
Put a parachute on it. And it lands on my house.
I think if a Serbian jet comes to Germany to drop off a guitar pedal, that might be a diplomatic issue.
Right.
But he sends me this and says, that's the one I have right now. Do you think Phil would be okay with that?
Oh my God, yes.
I'm going to put a picture right here so you know why he's saying that.
I'm down with that. That's awesome.
Okay.
Kill.
He always puts like different, he took my Facebook picture that I took in China, where I have like quadruple chin, and put that on my pedal. And he said, if this doesn't arrive in time, give him this. I'm not giving you quadruple chin Henning on the pedal. You're going to have to stare at my mug all the time. But check it out.
I will, for sure. And it's funny, because we were talking about this last night. Overdrive pedals, man. They're so, sometimes it's the flavor of the day. Sometimes it's somebody that is doing something special. And sometimes,
overdrive can be a million things. And
Well, the
I
thing
was
is,
thinking about that in the show this morning. Like, what did he mean? And I wasn't washing my hair. What the fuck am I? I'm sorry. No, I was not. I was actually shaving. I want to have the Devin Townsend look. Devin Townsend look. I think actually he's copying me, but that's just me. Must be a big fan of mine. Anyway, I was thinking, what did he mean? Overdrive, creamy for lead sound, or just the tiniest bit of breakup for chords? I mean, what are you looking for?
Well, okay, look, it depends on the gig too, right? I love something that doesn't really do much to my amp, because my amp is amazing.
You got a Friedman, right?
Yeah, I have a Friedman.
Excuse me, wait, bastard. If I can just throw that at you there without you hitting me.
I have the shield, the bastard shield. It's a ricochet into that sign.
That's definitely something I want to get in my studio, only that David has about 1 million insane endorsers, and why the fuck would he put one in my studio?
Right.
That's the problem.
I mean, my amp is amazing, my Friedman X, because I love the brown eye, but when I want to get AC/DC, you can't really turn down the gain, because it changes the tone stack and it changes everything. The oomph goes away. So I just called Dave and I said, if I was going to have an amp, I would have a gain cut. And the experience is, you walk in, he goes, come on in. I take my guitar, he's got the amp open on his bench with the solder iron, some alligator clips and capacitors, and he goes, what do you think of this? I go, it sounds a little, like this. And he goes, okay, hold on a second. You want more open, right? I go, yeah, more open. And then like that, and then, well, that sounds a little better, but it sounds a little harsh. And then he goes, okay, well, hold on a second. Takes the alligator clip and puts it here. Wow! I'm like, that's it! And that's the game cut.
That freaking guitar nerds at work Like people that are passionate about what they do and know what they want.
Yeah, and Dave doesn't want to send me an amp that I'm not going to be happy with, and I'm not going to be happy if I'm not in there kind of creating with him. And then he just made a note of what he did with that alligator clip, and that's my amp. So, and I also like a second master, because it's important to me to be able to boost my own solos, right? Because sometimes the sound guy, he's like taking he's doing a solo. And he comes up like 2 bars late, and he's done the solo, and then it's like, come on, dude, just. But I know a lot of soundmen aren't like that. I've worked with soundmen that boost your pick slide. I love that guy. You're rocking out, and he's going. I'm like, what? That's awesome shit, right?
But you need to be on. I mean,
But nobody. If you have your own boost, you can boost the note.
Mm-hmm.
This note's gonna be louder, and it's awesome. So I love to do that. And then one time I was doing a small little bar where they don't even mic your amp, and then it was Kenny Aronoff and friends at the Baked Potato in Studio City.
I've been to the Baked Potato.
And small, right?
I've seen Niacin there. I was sitting right next to Billy Sheehan.
Billy Sheehan! And then it's like I was boosting my own solo. So, but I was like playing with the band, and then I'd boost my solo, and I'm like, I'm so glad I could boost my own solo. And then I looked into the audience, and everybody went to like, he boosted his solo. Like, I mean, everybody likes it.
If it's magical.
I know. Yeah. So it's like, now he's a wizard. Woo! But the whole thing with having a great sounding amp is you don't want an overdrive pedal to color it too much. You know, I don't need more mids, I don't need more bottom, I just want it to almost be transparent but sound like my amp went up a stage. You know? And some pedals do that. To give you an idea, if I'm doing one particular gig, there's one pedal that makes the intro to Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi sound like velvet. And I hear
it needs to be really creamy.
I hear it in the arena, and I go, oh my God, I just could go, you melt, right? But that pedal won't work for Raise Your Hands when you're going
it needs to be, you need the bite.
So I have 2 different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Not 31 like Baskin Robbins. 2 flavors. This guy does this and this guy does that, and then I can choose while I'm on stage. And I never use them both. I'm like, what do you need, like 2 overdrive pedals? But you can't even get a pedal with 2 stages to do that either, because they're this similar circuitry. But anyways, so I'm going through this and I'm going through that. I'm seeing this sounds really good and this sounds really good and this sounds great, and then you get on stage and you plug into your amp, and now your amp is loud, and you really hear if the pedal is dynamic or not dynamic. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, this sounded great when I was rehearsing, and now it doesn't. So it's hard sometimes to put your finger on the one that gives you a boner.
I got by now over 300 pedals at home.
You get more than me.
Well, I do it every day.
All right, you have to review them. You don't review them and give them back.
My deal with most companies is, if you give me money, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy gear.
Right.
So just give me the gear, which for them is a lot easier because they have the cost. So I get something that for me is worth $250, for them is worth 20.
You know what I've been doing? People send me videos, and I don't want to be video demo guy, because I love demoing guitars. I don't want to do pedals, but it's funny because I go to like a NAMM show, and everybody's like, "Here, can you demo my pedal?" I'm like, I don't kind of do that. I kind of do guitars and then bring in pedals I like. Can you like my pedal?
No.
But the thing at the same time is, if somebody sends me a pedal and I play it and I don't like it, I send it back. Because why would I keep it, right?
And they could give it. I have this thing about, I just want to keep that stuff. I have it in my drawers, and I have some bad ones in there. I made some really bad decisions when I lived in Boston.
Yeah.
I went to Berkeley, and I lived there, and I brought 2 or 3 Ibanez gems. We're talking about 1987 green gem, only 700 in the world, with Steve Vai autograph.
Wow.
Not a scratch on it. I traded it for an EMU sampler, which is now worth €15. I'm not sure, it's worth $15.
Dude, wait, just to make you feel better, Everybody has done something like that.
The guitar now is probably worth 15 grand.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have this big time aversion now against selling anything because I've made these super horrible decisions.
Yeah.
So I just keep shit.
Yeah.
Wait, other stuff before I forget. People are stealing things. People come in and steal stuff. Well, let me plug Warwick and Framus. Framus? Are you saying it in German or how do you say that?
I say Framus.
Framus, okay, well, good then. We reviewed this guitar. We looked at a couple of guitars downstairs and we grabbed this off the wall. And on the way here, we've had this discussion with a couple of bass players. We were like, how the fuck do they get all these people to play these instruments? And we were thinking, they gotta throw a lot of money at people. But then we're thinking, Alan Clayton from U2? You can't throw enough money at him to play anything.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are working musicians and we know we all gotta eat.
I don't think he worries about king sizing his French fries.
No, really not. But I know, we have working musicians and we all got a gig and whatever, and some of them might be happy to play a different instrument if there's some money, but on the first night arriving here, and you weren't there, but there was a whole room of bass players and it was a family of people.
Yeah.
And here, I mean, you run around and it's the Warwick family, and they say this, but they mean it, the way we're treated and everything.
That's how I describe it. Like Hans Peter, he's not just the owner and the CEO and the head guy walking around. He's dad.
Yes.
And everybody, we're all his kids. And you know what? He's so passionate about music and instruments that he's just. And when I can't wait to tell him that the guitar came and it plays amazing, because he lights up. It's what he wants to hear.
It's not.
And I'm not saying it to say it. I mean, I get a guitar and hey, we sent you a couple of guitars. Let us know how you are. And then I'm like, oh my God, they're amazing. Out of the box, amazing. You know, and I'm not even acoustics. And they just started a new line of acoustics, and I'm taking them out on the Bon Jovi tour. Like I'm playing Wanted Dead or Alive on a Framus 12-string.
You could
and I could play anything.
I was just gonna say you could be playing literally anything now.
I could be playing anything.
Literally, I always sound drunk when I say literally.
Yeah, I'm not buying you any more vodka. But seriously, I'm playing Wanted Dead or Alive on a Framus 12-string, and not because it's got Framus on it, because it's awesome. The sound guy at rehearsals last week was like, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "It's my new Framus 12-string." He goes, "It sounds great."
I picked up that idol maker where I was like, what's with the shape and whatever.
Yeah.
And I have good guitars. I got a PRS Modern Eagle. It's a dream
Wait, you have
guitar.
what?
A Modern Eagle 2 from PRS.
Yeah, we can't talk about PRS.
Oh, okay, we can't do that.
No, I hate PRS. And nothing personal against anybody there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I do not have 6 PRS guitars at all. I really don't. And I don't really, work with them and love the guys. Hey, Gavin. Hey, Paul. Hey, no, but seriously, I mean, hey.
This is an actor.
They don't pay. No. I picked up this thing, and it's thin, it's light, and bam, mahogany sound that just nails it to the wall. And this guy, every time I play, he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And insane.
Yeah.
So Marcus told me this story, and I got it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Told me the story of you showing up here and first of all, him not saying, hey, if you don't like what we do, don't play it.
Right.
And you said, I want this and this and this. And he claims that they went off and the same evening you had a guitar to play.
Which is mind-blowing.
Is that true?
I break it down, okay? Mark, I was talking to Hans Peter, and I was with Yamaha at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were so grateful that I came to bass camp and jammed with all the bass players and stuff like that. They were like, we want to build you a guitar. No disrespect to your current endorsement. We just want to give you a guitar. And then Marcus comes up and he goes, what kind of neck do you like? I like a 59 Les Paul with a little more width at the nut. Okay, I'm talking to Hans Peter, and an hour later Marcus comes like this and hands me a neck. He made a neck in an hour.
No.
And by the end of the day, it had a body, and the next day, hardware pickup, ready to rock. I'm like, what? You know, like...
In a day.
a day and a half. I'll spread it out. But isn't that amazing? Like, I mean, and the tour of the facility is like mind-blowing. It's like beautiful. It's like a village. It's Warwick Village.
We hopefully we're gonna do that today.
Yeah.
We haven't done it yet.
You have to. It's insane. So with all that fell into place, for me to leave a company, like Yamaha was really good to me, okay? But to leave a company, there would have to be something even more special available. And my thing is, I love my demographic of YouTube followers that would love to own a Phil X guitar, but can't afford a $2,500 Yamaha.
It wasn't the Yamaha even more expensive? I think I read the review and I looked at the price and I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, it got even more expensive. And I try to keep the price down. But I'm an artist, you know. You can't fight with Japan because Japan has this is what we do.
Yeah.
And this guy wants a cheaper guitar? No. So I'm like, can we have an introductory model for, you know, fans that want to spend $400 or $500? Well, we could kind of make a, you know, Pacifica, and I'm like, but I don't want it to be a Pacifica.
You want your guitar.
I want it to be the Phil X guitar that he plays on stage. And we even tried with Pacifica because I tried to be flexible because, you know, you go through life and you try to be flexible so everything rolls, right? We wanted to have momentum. So anyway, what happened here was I talked to Hans, and we were talking about it, and he goes, well, you know, we now have guitars being assembled in Czech, and we have guitars being assembled in China, so we're gonna have, you know, the high-end German custom shop, and then we're gonna have a pro line and an introductory model for like $400. And it was like music to my ears. Music to my ears. And then, so I'm like, oh my God. So I went back to Yamaha out of respect, and I said, hey guys, I got an offer from another company. They wanted to do this and this and this. And you guys told me I'd have an affordable model in 2 years ago, and now you're telling me it's going to be another 2 years. So what can we do? And they're like, let us beat the, you know, we'll beat the offer and we'll come to the table with it.
And they clearly didn't.
They did not.
Because we're sitting here.
And and I love the guys. We still talk. I saw them at the NAMM show and we hang out and stuff like that. Everybody's great. But their hands were tied when it came to giving me what I wanted because of the rules.
It's a little bit more corporate.
Well, you know what? This is corporate too, but they're very about the artist.
But I walk into the office back there. I was just looking for Marcus, and I walk in there. There isn't a CEO office separate from everyone else. Hans Peter's office is just, he's in the corner of everyone else.
It's not, it's
and
not even a kiosk.
He's not in any way removed from everyone.
You know where he is. And I walk over and go, Hans, I'm going to use your charger to charge my phone. And he's like, cool, no problem. And he's right there.
I didn't find Marcus. I walk over, Hans, you know where Marcus is? And I'm not afraid to, you know, talk to the guy. Yeah. And he's like, okay, picks up, give me the phone. I'm like, hey, this is nice.
It's
okay?
awesome. And they have bananas.
So, what
You didn't even catch that.
What? I didn't what? What?
It doesn't matter. He left.
What did he? What? Again? Come on.
I said, and they have bananas. I seriously walked in this morning and I had a coffee and a banana. That's all I'm saying. You know what a banana is, right? It's fruit.
Banana.
A fruit, you peel it. Insert. Okay.
Okay. Where was I? On the Bon Jovi tour,
yes.
Do you play a black one?
I do have a black. I have a black one, and I also have. Yes, I know what you're gonna get at.
I'm gonna go there.
Go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Cause I tested this on Monday, awesome guitar. And then because it had to go back on the wall, I spent 15 fucking minutes with different lotions and to get it to look like this again. And then to put it back on the wall, I had gloves on. Okay? So I would very seriously like to have your guitar tech's email to write him a condolence email saying, I am so sorry that he has to handle this guitar.
This is how you need to get to know me. Because I show up for the show with a black guitar, and I go, he hands me the black guitar, and I'm like, what'd you do? He goes, oh, I polished it. I'm like, no, don't polish it. I want fingertips, you know, I want the fingerprints, and I want the want smudges and blood.
Okay, we're gonna do
sweat.
something. You show me. Please know, I'm the one who has to. Give me that stuff, please, over there. I need to show this because I'm tethered here. We're gonna actually do this.
Is that even a guitar polish, or is that like a?
That is what they gave. That's what the pros downstairs gave me.
Really?
Actually, you know what they showed me? It is.
It's Dunlop.
But the big one. Give me those. You know what they also showed me?
What?
You can use acetone.
Yes.
They showed me on the.
Acetone is good. It takes off nail polish too, right?
They showed me that on nitro, on a nitro finish, took off the whole paint. Then they pour it over this guitar, nothing happens. So this is what I have here.
Bulletproof.
This is what I have here to clean this guitar after we're done, and to get me real work. Please show how you put the fingerprints on it.
I don't like fingerprints. It just happens. You start playing and then your arm goes there. And there, and
God,
you go, and you get like there. Oh, I made a P and I didn't even realize. But it's like, see, okay, there's some all right on the back here, and your buckle is gonna leave
right
a couple
in.
marks there. This guitar is awesome.
I love guitars without anything in the fretboard.
I do too. Sometimes I do put something on the 12th fret.
It's a bitch if you want to teach. If you do anything in terms of look what I'm doing, it's really bad.
I didn't think of that, but you know what I do? Because people are like, how do you know where you are? Because
you never look on the fretboard.
If you play like this, you look like an amateur.
Yeah.
That's why these dots are here, so you know where you're at. That's what that's all about. Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, now I'm gonna let you put it back on the wall.
Yeah, it's gonna be my job to clean it.
Well, you asked me to put fingerprints on.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, this is my gift to you.
Awesome. See, this is the one I brought. I got a few fingerprints on it.
A few.
This is the one I brought. It's got a P90. This is my main guitar. I think I have 9.
Plug it in case you wanna,
I have 9 of these on the Bon Jovi tour.
9.
But I also have I have two pickup models. One with P90s and one with humbuckers.
Okay.
Because some songs you need to have a neck pickup.
This one actually can be switched to single core, correct?
Single and parallel.
We actually started like this, and it was like, it's not really fat. What's wrong with him? And I didn't realize, for some reason I thought this must be humbucker. But this is humbucker, right? And when I got here, I was like, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the single sound was seriously usable.
Yes.
Really nice.
Because sometimes, okay, this is, like, you don't want to change guitars all the time, and, in a band like Bon Jovi, you're playing like a song that's rock, and you need a humbucker, and then the next song, and sometimes you don't have time to change guitars, and the next song is like Lost Highway or another song that needs a little more twang.
You can't really want,
you flip the switch, and you got your
twang. And you still get it back here, where you got fingers that do that. I need a lot of pickups and whatever, but if you got the fingers.
I love, I love the simplicity. I believe, and I've had discussion with other people too. I geek out. I love geeking out about guitar. So my favorite sounding guitars were always like Juniors, and they only have one pickup. And the reason is I did some research, and even when a neck pickup isn't on, the magnet is still pulling on the strings.
It's physics, of course.
So you get when you're like this, you're getting the vibration from the nut to the bridge. Mm-hmm. And then when the neck pickup's there, it's kind of like pulling on it a little bit. So it's taking a little bit away from that natural vibration.
It's definitely the truest thing you can possibly have, one pickup.
Yeah.
But I always see, a good friend of mine is a custom guitar builder. He just built one for me for the Musikmesse. Awesome guitar. Marcus. But a different Marcus. Credential. But, what was it? Marcus Bentley. Awesome guy. But I always say when he builds a Junior for like 2,800, something like that, I say, if I spend that much money, I'd rather have the extra pickup in it, because then for my money I'm getting more options.
Right.
But that is, let's say, the average guitar player who has 1 or 2 guitars, and then I want the most use out of my money. Yeah. But someone like you who can then just say, give me the Strat now.
Right.
Then you can have very specific functions in your instrument. So it's not a waste to not put in a second pickup, because if you wanted that, you have another guitar for it.
Well, this is the thing. Like the Drills, my band, are playing here.
Which, by the way,
tomorrow.
Instruments and shit,
Oh, we play instruments and shit?
Oh,
You
holy
like that,
crap.
right? Thanks, man. Wait till you hear the new one. It's crazy.
Holy crap, album.
But thanks,
Seriously, guys, get this. And not on Spotify. Actually, money on the table and get the album, please.
Okay, it's the Phil X and the Drells. We play instruments and shit.
And it's got a little dog on it with the guitar. And it's just the cutest thing.
That dog's name is Batman.
And with a little Marshall.
It's really
It's
cute.
adorable.
So so I came here to play with the Drills. So I just brought. I don't need. If I'm going out to play with the Drills, I just have one pickup. Always.
See, I'm in awe and have the highest respect for the kind of, let me illustrate, freaking rock and roll. I mean, it doesn't get truer than that. 3 guys, a guitar that's been doubled on the album, okay. But there's a guitar part and there's singing, bass players singing harmonies.
Yes.
I mean, it is the truest direct rock and roll that you can get without every song just being riffing. Amazing hooks.
Thanks.
And it's one song even reminds me of kind of a poppy, Avril Lavigne kind of rock and roll song.
Right.
Very diverse. And actually on the, don't ask me, the Yellow album. I don't know, the one with that only had the EP.
We bring the rock and roll.
Yeah, there's a piano ballad on there that's just mind blowing.
Oh, thank you.
Did you play that?
I didn't play piano. My friend Russ.
Okay, thank you.
Russ, yeah, right. You would hate me more.
Yeah. He probably did. He just didn't want to say it.
I don't want you to hate me more. My friend Russ Irwin, he plays keys with Aerosmith, and we did a couple of sessions together. And
Such a beautiful song.
Because you can tell the guy, I go, I want a little Elton John, a little Billy Joel, and he knows exactly what to deliver. And he did a couple of takes in his living room. He had a baby Brandon in his living room.
Absolutely beautiful. But let's get back to the sound because that's where I want to get at. The sound you run on that album, or also in the videos, is I kind of feel guitar, cable, amp, we're good. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
For me, I don't have those chops when I produce.
Yeah.
What I do is a lot of layering. Very simple part, Tim Pierce approach. Love Tim Pierce, and I do a lot of layering, and that's not how you arrive at the music you do.
No,
at all.
Instead of I layer it too, but sometimes it'll be like if I'm doing a riff, it's loud. So if I'm doing a riff,
I got distortion on if you want.
Okay. That's loud.
We checked earlier if it's okay outside.
So Kiss My Troublemaker, it's got that killer voice. So I got a left and a right. At the time, I didn't have a Friedman, so it was my 76 Marshall. When the pre-chorus kicks in, that, I'm thinking, wow, I want a different sound there. So on top of that, I put my little 8-watt tone master, doing the exact same thing. And sometimes I put it up the middle, or sometimes I make that a left and a right. But then it just takes it to that next step. And then when the chorus kicks in, I have this little 12-string Mando guitar that I tune it a certain way so that when you hear it by itself, it's like, what the hell? But if you listen to the chorus and you're going, wow, that sounds amazing, when you take that, you don't even know what it's doing. When you take it out, you miss it. That's the kind of blend that I do, but I want everything to almost play the exact same.
It's like one part.
It's
like a unison part that you fatten up. It's not like, okay, this guitar's...
Right,
see, I
but
think
that's what I do. To answer your question, I think, what can I do, instead of putting a second part on, so what can I do to make it, instead of putting in a second part, what can I do to have that second part in the already existing part? So
I always think, what can my second part do that the first part doesn't?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want it to interfere with the vocal, and because we're a 3-piece, I approach it as a 3-piece. I want to orchestrate everything. So if the vocal's not doing something and the guitar's not doing something, that bass is going to do something. You know, and then just when I listen to it at the end of the day, then I'm like, wow, this is really awesome. Because if, like, there's a song on the Yellow record called Talk You Off the Ledge, and in the pre-chorus, I'm just going... is going. The bass is going crazy, right? And then I'm like, wow. Yeah. To me, that's how music should have color, you know. So it's really important. That's how I approach it. And Dan comes in and he plays bass and he's awesome. He does his background vocals because I don't want him to be me. Mm-hmm. In fact, on the new record,
so he actually also sings on the record. It's not just a live thing.
Yeah, he sings on the record.
Okay, awesome.
Because again, like, we did this thing that has a lot of vocals. There's a couple of songs on the new record that we're working on that has a lot of vocals. And instead of it being 4 of me and 4 of Dan, I brought 4 friends in. Okay. And they did live vocals on top. Because
it's a different feel. I mean, I sometimes end up with 26 vocal tracks easily.
Well, you know, Freddie Mercury, right?
Yeah.
Him and Roger Taylor, they did tons and tons of vocals and stuff.
Which, I don't want to interrupt you, but brings me to one other question. I got two more. But, vocals.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with vocals, but with Canada. You're Canadian, right?
Yes.
So, I've done, when I didn't do pedal demos, a couple years ago, I did a whole bunch of albums. One of them with James LaBrie,
yeah,
who can sing a bit.
A little.
And, you know, Saga.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Sadler, a good friend of mine, he sang on some of my albums. And this guy called Sebastian Bach, who I am legally obligated not to call a fuckhead. But, so I'm not, you know, I'm really not. The lawsuit said I can clearly not bitch about him being an idiot. But anyway, where was I? So, I've worked with a lot of Canadians.
Yeah.
And what's in the water up there that makes you guys good musicians? Devin Townsend, Canadian. I mean, what's the deal?
Actually, I didn't know that. You know what? I think when you grow up in a country where you feel like if you want to get ahead, you have to work your ass off. You have to hone your craft. When I moved to LA, I thought, I gotta put a band together. I'm so used to playing with really good drummers. I gotta find a really good drummer in LA. But this is LA. There's gotta be an amazing drummer in every Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't the case.
Actually, wait. No, you didn't think that. Because at the time that you went to LA, there was no Dunkin' Donuts.
There was 97.
Ah.
Dunkin' Donuts has been around since. Because let's stop talking about that.
I so want like a French vanilla right now with cream and sugar. You have no idea. Oh my God, I could kill for Dunkin' Donuts French vanilla right now.
Wow, that's funny. But my whole point was like, oh my God, I thought there'd be like way better musicians down here. But I think in LA, they're thinking, oh, this is LA. You don't even have to be that good. You just get a record deal and rock out. I don't know what happened to those people.
Yeah.
But in our case. Fingerprints. In our case, you want to put fingerprints on this too? in our case, we just, you know, like we were talking about this thing, you know, even in Canada, you have all these guitar players that got content being the best guitar player in their high school, and I just wanted to be the best I could be no matter where I was, you know, like walk in and everybody goes, what the fuck? Because I love watching a guitar player and him doing something that makes me go, what the fuck? And I laugh when somebody does something really incredible. So I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be that guy that made somebody else go, what the fuck? So there's a lot of...
Congratulations on having achieved that, by the way.
Oh, thank you. But you know, it's funny because I hate repeating myself. So at one point, you know, when I'm doing Fred Americana videos, sometimes I'll just do a bunch of blues licks because if I keep doing the Phil X licks, then it's gonna be overdone, you know, and then there's so many points. I love throwing in my influences, like if I'm doing like if we do a cover song, I'll do like a little intro to warm up, and it's kind of like a.
detected some very clear silliness in some of these licks. I detected it, and we said no silliness. I detected there was clear silliness in those licks.
Well, if you're gonna be the silliness police, I'm gonna go.
Well, sadly, I think you're gonna have to go anyway.
Yeah.
Because he's got his next interview. We could sit here for hours.
I know, man. It's like I feel like
because I still wanted to talk about Marshall sounds, which I kind of really hate Marshalls, but when I hear you play it,
but it's old Marshalls. I don't like new Marshalls.
I know that's always a thing, just like new Gibsons or old Gibsons.
Well, there's that. Like my '76 Marshall JMP is special because in the '70s, even if Jim Marshall was around and you had a coffee with him, he goes, "Man, in the '70s we were so high that we would run out of components and just put anything in there to get it out the door." And I have one of the special ones where they ran out of something, threw something else in there, and it's incredibly fierce.
But see, the sound for me, and talking about sounds and using adjectives is really difficult. So I'd like to know how you react to how I describe your sound on the Drills album.
Okay.
To me, a Marshall sound is always, it has a lot of high end, obviously, and it's scratchy.
I hate scratchy.
But is that the wrong word to use?
It's a good, well, for you, is it a good scratchy or a bad scratchy?
When I listen to you play it, it's a very good scratchy because it's got those bars and it's got the definition. When I play it, it makes it difficult for me to play because it exposes every tiny thing you do.
That's the thing. I look at it, what you're calling scratchy, I call aggressive, and I like it aggressive. Like, but some people, somebody said, "Man, that sounds a little too aggressive," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they go, "It's a little brittle on top," and I'm like, "See, that's not aggressive to me. Aggressive is like, it's like anger. Like, I love P90s because they sound angry to me. Now, if you use too much gain, the clarity goes away.
Yeah.
Or like, "Hey man, my P90 was really buzzing and I don't know how to control it." I'm like, try and turn the gain down a little. But you might have to practice.
Well, Paul Gilbert, not a lot of gain.
Amazing.
But insane scratchiness. I mean,
insane technique.
Yeah.
That guy is so.
And fingers probably both of us put together.
I seen him do like one octave with one hand, and I'm like, what the? These fingers are just like, he's a wizard. Anyways, not he, because we'll finish with him.
Yeah.
For me, my secret to my thing is not having too much tone. But people don't realize that you have to play the amp. You know how you play a guitar? You have to play the amp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if I plug into Angus Young's Plexi and hit the way I hit, it'll fart. It'll sound, I won't be able to play anything fast. So I go, okay, I'm playing an old Plexi, dial back the right hand, you gotta pick a little lighter. Mm-hmm. So you have to play the amp. Absolutely. You know, it's like if Angus plugged into Steve Vai's rig, it would probably still sound like Angus, but it would sound weird.
He'd have to work a little bit.
And if Steve
I got 25 tube amps, and every single one has to be approached differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I approach it. I know what I wanted to sound like. And when you listen to the first song on the Yellow record, at the beginning, when I do that intro until we bring the rock and roll, the song, and then the tone changes a little bit, that's because I had an overdrive pedal on for the intro and then turned it off for the riff.
Oh, I'm dying.
And because people are like, yeah, you didn't do it at the same time. I'm like, I did do it at the same time.
There is a jump, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just turned the overdrive pedal
off. And even if you didn't do it at the same time,
yeah, but I like to keep it really. Like this whole record that we're working on now was recorded live off the floor with very little overdubs. And
you just true, right? Like full on.
And it's true. There's something really special about it because there are things that happen when three people are in a room playing at the same time that would never happen if you recorded the drums and then the guy came in and recorded the bass and then you came in and recorded the guitar and then you're going, fuck, I wish the bass did this. And then you got to redo the bass.
Yeah.
But when you're on the floor, you can work it out, and there's something really special about it, and there's something very urgent about it, because you don't want to be the guy that screws up an amazing take. So you're almost like, don't screw up, man, don't screw up. Oh, you're doing good, you're almost at the finish line. That was awesome. And you feel like you're going to pass out, and your achievement has escalated to this thing that...
Yeah, there's a completely different kind of energy. See, completely. I sit in front of a computer and do everything myself, except for the singing, because not happening.
That was great, though.
You don't want to hear what I do, should I?
No!
If
you don't like it...
No. In every video where I review a metal pedal. For some reason, because I did it once, they expect me to do, you might want to cover your ears. I do that in every single video for some reason.
I do this. I can't hit that note. I go, in for surprise, in for a shock. But you're way up there.
I can get a high C sharp if on a good day. I got a 3.5 octave.
I want to hear high C sharp.
Okay.
Go. His head almost exploded. Just for you.
I have a 3.5 octave range and none of it sounds good. It's awesome. I can't use that anywhere on any record, but I can. It's usually good enough so I can communicate with the vocalist what I want.
Right.
So that's cool. And I had amazing vocalists.
Yeah, but if you have pitch and you can describe how it goes, then of course you can get anybody to do whatever you want. I got lucky, and it's not lucky. You know, people are like, how do you get to be such a good singer? And I think I'm a good singer. I think my main thing is guitar, and my second thing is vocals. And I've heard people say the opposite. Yeah, you're a good guitar player, but what a singer.
It all comes together. Before I need to kick you out, one thing I need to know, because I couldn't find out. I went on Wikipedia. Oh my god, am I fucking German or what? Wikipedia.
It's wrong. Everything on Wikipedia is
Wikipedia.
incorrect.
Well, I went in and looked at you and I read your thing, and it says, plays on the new Bon Jovi album. So I go to Burning Bridges, and first, I'm stupid enough, I downloaded it. I have every single Bon Jovi album out there. Okay. My first album ever that I bought was a Bon Jovi album.
Wow.
You play in my band. That's my thing.
Nice.
But we never talked about this yet.
Okay,
but so I go on Burning Bridges and read the thing who plays on there, and you're not on there.
No.
So did you or did you not play on that album?
No.
Okay, good.
This is that record was done really quickly, and with scheduling and stuff like that. But John Shanks is he produced a record.
Yeah, and
he's a great guitar player. So he's on there. There's another record already coming out in 2016, and there's been talk of me doing that, or some. And it's for me, it's not like I don't consider myself the new guy in Bon Jovi. I still feel like I'm helping the band out. You know what I mean? I feel like I play with Bon Jovi, not in Bon Jovi.
Well, that's how they treated the new Hugh. What's his face?
Hugh McDonald.
Yeah. For a long time, he was never in the band, but. If then now they would treat you that way, then the band pictures kind of get very small.
Yeah, and then there were 3.
Yeah, and then there was his shoe. I mean, who knows? But I mean, this is really like the biggest gig one can possibly land, and I had no idea what was going on with Richie. I don't follow bands. I listen to their music.
Right.
I have no idea. Hey, Richie doesn't play there anymore. What happened? And then I was like, hey, who's playing? And then they were like, Phil X. I'm like, Phil who? But then I looked at a video and you just nailed that shit. I mean, Richie is a tough act to follow. He's, I think, one of the most underrated guitar players out there. Absolutely.
I think his musicality is incredible. His voice and the way he co-wrote those are the greatest songs on the planet. He's a great guitar player, and he's got a vibe, And I didn't set forth to do his thing, but I can't really do my thing. And this is what I've been saying. This isn't the first time I've said this, but if this is Richie over here and this is me over here, I found this guy in the middle that shows up and does the gig.
You can't copy him. It would be stupid. It would be.
There is there are some solos. Dry County, for instance, is one of his famous solos, and I do it. I mean, verbatim as much as my hands can be his hands, because it's expected.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do the solo in Living on a Prayer,
Wanted Dead or Alive, you gotta do that solo.
You gotta do that. So there are solos, and that's what I did when they said you're gonna do some shows with us. I studied shows, and if he did the solo on the record, I would do the solo record. If he went nuts, I would go nuts. But the dialed back nuts, because the Phil X nuts is too nuts. But
too silly for German TV or German YouTube.
And too silly for Bon Jovi. But so. But it ended up being, once I found that guy in the middle that could do the gig, and it's funny too, because I I'd watch this video and say a song like "Born to Be My Baby." I love the solo on the record, and he changed it live. So I went back to the solo on the record, and I do that.
He's what I love is he plays sectional solos. There's like this bit down here, and then this bit up here, and then he does something with tapping. It's totally different things, but everything it becomes one.
Some of the solos that he does, that Rishi did, that he recorded, they sound like a song within the song, which is what a solo should kind of be. Like for me, I can't. When I listen to Hotel California, I can't wait till the solos start. You know, I'm almost like fast forward.
It's a tough act to follow, but I mean, if anyone can do it, I gotta kick you out because you have 30 seconds now to get to your next interview, and they're gonna lynch me if you don't show up there.
Are they coming in here? Or I'm going up.
Do you know where you have to go?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good then, because I don't.
Okay. Dude, thank you so much.
No, yeah, right. Thank you.
Did we talk about everything you wanted to talk about?
No.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make sure you get the Minions Ganiac. I'm gonna make sure you get a Pussy Power. I'm gonna talk to the guy from Seahawks. Amazing power supplies, trust me. It's high-end shit.
Okay.
And it's pink and has a pussy on it.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
It's actually the same thing as the DC-10, which is black, for $50 more.
Because it has a pussy on it.
Well, and who wouldn't spend the extra $50? Come on. If it makes sense for anyone's pedalboard, it's probably is.
So I'll give you my address before I leave so you can send me some presents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Hey man, thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Well, no,
it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Felix, ladies? Well, yeah, with him in the picture,
Well,
probably.
Well, you know what? No, I wanted to mention this earlier on YouTube. You have the guys that are like, man, I watch your videos because I learned so much, and my wife watches your videos because you're funny. And I'm like, yeah, that's what she tells you.
My girlfriend has never seen a video, and she helps me do it. This one she'll probably watch.
That's funny.
You see, there's chicks out there taking pictures, right? They're through the door. It's like, look, it's Felix, look.
It's you, man. It's you.
You're right, she wants to take a picture of me. Right. See, there's Devin Townsend doing me.
I know, man.
He's probably like, how can I look like
He's
him?
so good. He's a crazy guitar player. Amazing.
He's a crazy guitar player, one of the most incredible singers.
Yeah.
Who's a Canuck?
I didn't know that. He's from Vancouver, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Up there.
Cheers. This is just water. Natural.
So you gotta run.
Thanks,
Wait,
buddy.
and don't do that. That's mine.
Okay,
And I gotta spend about 20 minutes now polishing this guitar. Thank you so much, Phil. Wait.